right. Welcome to the other side of normal. Tonight we have James and Tara from are you guys are coal country? Are you guys part of that group? Is that your group?
Yeah, we're part of. Well, I believe we both are because me and Tara haven't actually worked together yet. I don't think, but we're both a part of Coal Country Paranormal.
Awesome. Awesome. And you guys are on here because we're going to talk about the Sutton Hauntfest coming up this weekend in Sutton, West Virginia. You guys were so kind to reach out to us and invite us, and we are so honored to be asked to go, um, and we can't wait. So let's dig in a little bit here about the Sutton Hot Fest and maybe give us a little history, and then we'll get into who's been invited and who's coming and what's going on. Got a picture here. There we go.
Oh,
So how did all of this start?
so I can answer it a little bit, but not to the full extent that Pam would have been able to. But Pam had actually reached out to the Braxton County. I can't remember what exactly their name is, but essentially it's like the visitor center that runs everything for Braxton County. And she kind of brought the idea forward to them, and they actually gave us a little bit of money to be able to kind of set this up because we wanted to also highlight it as trying to bring people in to help with commerce and stuff in the area.
That's pretty cool. So there's and you said this is it's not been in the same spot, but this is like the third year that they've done this.
So we do multiple a year. This is the second year they've done the haunt or that we've done the haunt fest, but this is the first time that it's going to be in Sutton.
Okay. Okay. That's pretty cool. Oops. Um, so talk a little bit about the guests that you guys have coming. Whoop,
So
we
we
lost Tara.
she's probably going through a deep end on there.
Yeah.
Um, so we've actually gotten quite a few people coming for us, and actually we've been adding more every day. So I imagine that there's probably going to be even more than what we have now. In regards to like our featured guests and appearances, of course, you all are going to be there. But some of the bigger people that we have coming as well, we do have some investigators from Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum that are going to be coming and setting up a booth to talk about some of the things that they see there, and kind of going over some highlights and stuff as far as what Hala has to offer. We also have Cindy Kuhn from the Ross House. Me and you talked about that just a minute ago. And I'm in agreement with you. Cindy is an awesome lady.
She is wonderful.
I went up to the Ross House for the first time, I believe, on April 18th. And there's been a couple of other places that I've been to where I've experienced some things, but hers is definitely on the top of the list that house is. So she's going to be there to kind of set up and talk about her house. There is somebody called West Virginia Paranormal Girl Investigations coming as well. I'm not as familiar with her as Pam is. However, I do know that they kind of offer like a multitude of things as far as coming into homes, doing investigations, trying to, I think, collect evidence and things like that. Um, we have Heather from Coalfield Manor. Well, I don't know if you all have heard about her yet. She's from, she's actually from Massachusetts. She bought an old funeral home in Mullins, West Virginia, and she's kind of turned it into like a paranormal stop as well as a metaphysical store, which is really cool because we don't have a lot of medical physical stores in the area around here, especially in Mullins. But her and her husband are from Massachusetts, but she's going to be there for a little bit. We have, I'm probably going to butcher this name, Arcticus Paranormal. It is a husband and wife duo that do everything from tarot cards to cleansings and homes and stuff like that.
What do you think?
They're based somewhere around Sutton or around the Sutton area, I believe, or at least he grew up in Sutton because it's what he told me. So those are some of the big people that we have coming in regards to guests. We do have a couple of vendors as well. I believe between featured guests and vendors, we have over 20 at this point that are coming.
Wow.
We have, of course, we have some food options, but we have Joshua Bish, who is actually a horror author that's based out of Mercer County, which is where I'm from. He's recently gotten into that and published a couple books, so he's going to be there, kind of to help publicize his books and talk about those. We have a couple of different like art style vendors. One of them is Shadow Crafts. She's a lady that takes old dolls and kind of repurposes them into kind of horror themed dolls. I know that she has some interesting, cool stuff on her website and on her Facebook. And then the Sarcastic Cryptid or Cryptic is another art style one that do custom T-shirts, different like wood designs and stuff. I'm trying to think of everybody, but we do have a lot. We have over 20 some vendors in total coming.
That's pretty cool.
Saturday.
That's really cool. So obviously we know Cindy from the Ross House, and we've been to the Ross House, I don't know, 3 or 4 times. One of the most beautiful places, haunted places you'll ever go to. I mean, she keeps that place pristine, and she's actually in the midst of redoing the master bedroom right now, and it looks pretty good.
We were there the week before they started the renovation up there on the master bedroom.
That's awesome. Yeah, Cindy is awesome. And the West Virginia Paranormal Girl, we do not know her. We follow her, and I reached out and I said, I can't wait to meet you. She's really awesome. She puts out some good content, and she is all over the place, and that's, to me, that's really cool. So I'm really looking forward to seeing those two and everybody else that I don't know yet. But the hot dog guys, the people that are selling the hot dogs this weekend, hot dogs are near and dear to my heart. And I just can't wait to get into some of these hot dogs they have.
I need to get their menu actually up on our website, because he did like a specific menu for Saturday that's all like cryptid and haunted themed hot dogs.
That's
so I need
awesome.
to get that up there. I do know that he will be there a little bit earlier than when the vendors are setting up. I think he just wants to kind of be there, so when the vendors are setting up and the vendors are also hungry, that everybody can kind of get food. And then Tara might want to talk a little bit about what she does as well, because like I said, me and Tara haven't actually worked one-on-one together. So
yeah, I've been I did a couple hunts with them since November, and then I've actually only been with the group since about early April. And I've only gotten to go and do one like group hunt once, just because of my schedule. I will be going to more coming up, though I don't think I'm going to be at this specific Sutton Hauntfest. I have a friend, that's all I'm going to say right now, that a local cryptid that will be showing up to other festivals, but as of right now won't be at the Sutton Hauntfest, but no, he'll be around.
Awesome. Well, here comes Carl too. Hi, Carl. Welcome.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How about you all?
No complaints here.
I was trying to get my earbud synced up, so I don't know if you guys are getting any feedback from me or not.
You sound fine right now. Yep.
Okay, good deal.
Usually as soon as you come on, it'll scream if there's going to be an issue. So everything
Right.
looks good right now.
Right. Okay, good deal.
So, Tara, anything else you want to add right now?
Right. Be right back, guys. I was just making sure it was going to work.
Okay.
Like I said, I haven't been with CCP very long. I've done a lot of solo hunting since about 2010. And then I found, the group, and I did a couple with them, and then they reached out to me and wanted to know if I would join. And absolutely, of course. I want to hunt with more people like me. I've been to Waverly Hills, which is, a big one in the community. I did one at the Octagon Mansion in Withville. That was really interesting. The last one actually I did, well, not the before that the last one that I did was back at the Price Mansion with the group, and we caught. Well, me and my husband sort of went off on our own into one of the rooms, and we caught I don't know if I would say it's a class A EVP, but it's probably a B plus A minus EVP. But we've got some good, some evidence. It's more like experiences than what I've captured. But I also go into this with more of a skepticism point of view. I try to be like voice of reason, rather than, oh, I heard a noise and it was this. Well, debunking is always my first go-to. So that, is probably a little different than what some people. Sorry, I'm driving right now, and there's some construction going on.
You're fine. So, I'm actually doing a series coming up of on debunking, because I don't feel that enough people really put enough time and effort into debunking things. And oh my God, I heard a noise, and that is paranormal.
Yeah. One thing that really go ahead.
I just think it's really important to disprove everything that you can, and what's left.
Yes.
That you even if you can't prove what it was, it still may not be paranormal, but at least there's the question there that it could be, right?
Yeah. Always use your best judgment, and then try, and if someone can find a reason why this might not be paranormal, you kind of got to go with it, unless you can absolutely prove without a shadow of a doubt. So that's kind of how I go into it.
Yes.
Yeah, my thing has always been, I've been big on debunking also, and probably what you encounter out in the field, probably 99.5% of it is explainable. Now, you might not be able to explain it that night. It might take you a couple days. It might take 5 people looking at it, 10 people, 50 people looking at it. But most things, you can't just jump to conclusions. You have to do your due diligence. You have to do your research. Like, you have to figure out what this could be before what it couldn't be. It's like, well, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. It could be this.
A sound might spook me in the moment, but then once my wits are about me, I have to go about, okay, what was that? Can it be recreated? What did something fall?
Yeah, my thing is like there's one phrase I use a lot is being a responsible investigator.
Yes.
You have to do your due diligence, and you can't, just jump to conclusions, because, even if you had like the Holy Grail, there's still people that aren't going to believe it's real. That way it's like, well, I don't know what this is, but I know what it's not. It's not this, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. So like I say, we have to be responsible as investigators, because, integrity in this field is very hard earned and very easily lost.
Yeah.
And once you lose integrity, it's very hard to get it back.
Yeah.
So you have to take everything seriously.
Yep, absolutely. And I tell you that I've been doing this for several years now, and like once we caught a shadow person on camera, and as we're watching it back, we actually watched it back like 20 minutes after it happened. Nobody saw it, and we're watching it back, and somebody's like, "Oh man, we caught the little girl that's in this house," and we're looking at it and looking at it. We must have played it 50 times, and I'm like, "Well, but look at this up here," and it turned out to be like a whole person peeking around the corner. And the more we looked at it, the more we just couldn't explain it. We went upstairs up to where this room was, and we shined flashlights every which way to try to create it. We spent 2.5 hours in the middle of our investigation trying to recreate what just happened. We could not. Now, does that mean that we covered every angle? No. It could still not be what we think it is, but it's one of the few things that I caught to me that says this is as close to paranormal as I've gotten. And I mean, last year we did like 44 investigations. We're doing like 30 some this year. We're out a lot. And for me to be able to say there's like one or two things that I've caught that really screams to me, this is as close to paranormal as I can prove. Yes, I've gotten EVPs, but physical things on camera just rarely ever happens. And you have people that every week pump out a video. Hey, look at this. I found a demon. Hey, look at this. We found, and it drives me nuts. Look, share whatever you want to share, but do so at your own risk, right? I mean,
I think
if
a
you
lot of
didn't
it.
spend your time debunking it, you've wasted everybody's time.
I think one of the bigger issues too is that people like turn it into
Where's the closest?
so,
I mean, like, where's the closest? I know it was no on air. Like, I gotta get this flat, but where's the gas station?
Go ahead. I put her on mute for a minute.
But I think one of the biggest issues with that, with them popping out like new content every week, like you talk about, is they want to turn it into a competition. They have to. It's almost like they want to prove themselves. Of I'm the one that gets the most. It's me. It's me. It's me. I think that's a lot of it. I think it's ego that turns into a lot of times people trying to pop out more content and stuff and trying to say that it is what it might not really be.
Yep.
Well, and my thing is too, like, as far as like the equipment that we use out in the field, like if you get into something like your fancier gear, like it's come so far in like the last 15, 20 years as far as like SOS cameras and, stuff like that, whatever your opinion is on that. But at the same time, it is so much easier to fake evidence now. So it's like we're kind of taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back because now we have AI to worry about and stuff like that. So it's easier to debunk stuff, but at the same time, it's so much easier to fake stuff.
Yes.
And it's getting harder and harder to tell the difference if you're just a random observer on the fence who, pulls up a YouTube video. It's like, hey, this guy seems legit. He's got a couple million views and he's not doing his due diligence. He's there for the hits instead of, trying to bring some credibility to our field.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was on another podcast last night. I have 2 other friends that have their own groups, and we come together for what we call Beyond the Spirits, and we do a monthly podcast. And one of the things that came up last night was the spirits themselves, and the spirits should really be the reason you're doing this. This shouldn't be for you to get clicks. It shouldn't be for you to try to become the next Zach Bagans, because that's not going to happen anyway.
Who'd want to be Zach anyway?
Right.
I'll take his money. That's about it.
Right, and that's what everybody wants. Is they want that fame and they want that money. And personally, I love meeting people. And the more people I get to network with, great. I don't need to be famous. I've got way too much going on to be famous. But I'm in it for the spirits. I want to know who I can help. I want to know any type of story they want to talk to me. The history is what really intrigues me. And there are so many people that are just in this for clicks and look at me, look at me, look at me. And to me, there needs to be some type of an awakening that says, you're here to find out what is going on and what that other side is. Whether you believe it's a dimension, whether you believe it's the same plane, however you believe it's happening, you're here to try to find out what is going on. And I think, I don't know, 70% of these people that they're playing paranormal are playing and don't really understand what they're doing or don't understand why they should be doing it.
There's plenty of people in the field, unfortunately, who are doing it for the wrong reasons. And again, that goes back to what I'm saying about being a responsible investigator. You know, credibility is hard earned but easily lost. So, do the right thing when you're on investigation. You know, those of us who have been doing it for a while, we know why we're doing it. We're not on YouTube trying to get monetized or anything like that. Just, debunk and, do things for the right reasons. Unfortunately, it's not as rampant as it used to be when I first started.
And I don't have any problem with anybody making a little bit of money if that's what they're doing. Hey, if you work hard and you're putting out these videos and people are watching the videos, make some money off it. I'm cool with that. As long as you're doing it all for the right reasons, that's good enough for me. We watch a lot of people on YouTube. And I won't mention a lot of them because I don't think they're in it for the right reason, but people like the Foreman brothers, Paranormal Quest, these guys go out and they do things the right way, in my opinion. And those are the people that I want to keep, I keep an eye on and watch what they do, because I think others should kind of see that as well and kind of fall in line with, hey, we're here to respect these spirits and we want to understand what they're doing. And, you've got to give them that respect to get what you want. Oh, we lost Tara again. But yeah, if you're not in this for the right reason, you should probably rethink your strategies for sure.
Well, the interesting thing with me, I'm stepping into this without really the whole social media thing. Like, I don't understand how it works. I don't even understand how to make a TikTok. So like, that's the interesting thing for me, is stepping into it from a perspective of people that are wanting to get famous off of it versus just doing it because I enjoy doing it, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like any content I've ever shared has been like, hey, what do you guys think about this? Can I get an extra couple of eyes on this? It's not like, oh my God, this is a demon, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, I need a second or third or 10th or 50th opinion on this. So yeah, there's a difference there. And, and if you get likes and views because of actual content, that's fine.
Yes.
I get what you're saying. And there are a couple of respectable groups who used to have television shows that YouTube is their only option now because they were taken off the air. So I get that. Yep. But yeah, content for the right reasons, not, like, hey, what is this? Give me your valid opinion on this. If you can disprove this, then I'm wrong. Tell me why I'm wrong, but not just, hey, here's a werewolf out in the middle of Kentucky. This is obviously a werewolf. Smash that like button. It's like it's tiring.
Yes. So I'll tell you, a couple years ago, we were in Gettysburg, and we were kind of doing the battlefield tours and all that kind of cool stuff. And we stopped at this little hole-in-the-wall bar. It was not a tourist trap, and that's what I liked about it. We were having a couple drinks and just kind of winding down from the day. And these two guys come in. They're dressed in camouflage head to toe. And they're just sitting there next to me, and they're just talking. And I was really not trying to listen, but I could hear them, and they're talking about Bigfoot. Okay? Now, I am not a Bigfoot researcher. I have friends who are. But it interests me, and it interests me enough to say, what's going on? How you doing? Look, can we get in on this? And so we're talking to them guys, and they were like, oh yeah, we were just about 5 miles down the street, and we actually got some pretty good pictures today. And I'm like, really? I said, can I see? Do you mind? They're like, oh no, we'll show you. This guy hands me his phone and starts scrolling through all these pictures. And I'm like, you took these pictures here in Gettysburg today? And he's like, yeah. And my mind was just blown. And I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? Is this for real? And and I'm questioning it in my head. I'm like, this is a joke, right? And so the more I talk to them, and I'm like, do you guys like share this with the world? And they're like, nope. I'm like, well, why? He's like, because most people don't want to see it. They just want to say that this is fake, or you did this, or this is that, and this is that, and this is that. I'm telling you, what I saw that day blew my mind. Like crystal clear, not grainy footage, crystal clear pictures of Bigfoot.
You
And
know,
I'm like, my God, how can this be?
that's actually interesting that you say that, because we had an event 2 or 3 weeks ago where a girl had showed me a photo too as well. And it's something out in the woods just moving around. And she's been like, every single time somebody's asked her if they would send her a copy, she's like, no, I just want to keep it for myself. Like, I don't want anybody else to have it. But she thinks that it's Bigfoot. I don't know what it is, but it looks like a humanoid something moving. And I'm trying to remember, it might have been over at Babcock State Park, maybe. I can't remember exactly where it was at. But she had taken I guess like a live action photo, so you can kind of just see it moving in the background. So it was really interesting.
These guys have pictures, and this one is burned into my brain. Now, the picture was taken in the trees, right? And it's sunny out, and but you can't see a lot in the trees where it's dark. But you can see an outline of something, and you see an outline of something else with it, and there's a small face and there's a big face, and it's like something sitting there holding a baby. And as you're looking at it, you're like, that's definitely furry. It's definitely big. Um, it's we don't really have gorillas running around uh, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. What else can this be? And then the more pictures they show me, you can see something on 2 feet walking around, and I'm like, whoa. And he's like, yeah, we share this within our groups of people that we work with, and Bigfoot researchers. He said, but we don't share it to the public because nobody wants to see this crap. And I'm like, I want to see this.
Yeah, I would
And so
I
I
would
have
disagree
found
on that.
more friends to do this. And, my other friends that I've met since then are the same way. Like, the people don't want to see this. They want to tell you what it's not rather than what you can actually see there. And, it's the same thing with the paranormal. People want to throw it out there and say, well, there's no way that could be that. Well, there is a way, but not everything you see is what you think you see, but there is definitely a way. And I just don't, I understand why they choose not to share stuff, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
Because people,
I
they,
get
they,
it. Like I
they
said, I
know too
mean,
much.
I've been a paranormal researcher for over 25 years now, and it's been mostly on the ghost hunting side. I'm interested in cryptids and stuff like that, but like ghost hunting is more my expertise. But you know, when you have people like that, again, it goes back to getting getting flooded with fakes and AI and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
they've been beaten down because for every legit thing that they might have to present to somebody, there's 30 or 40 or 50 fakes that they're what possibly could be legit just gets lost in the flood of misinformation. So yeah, that's the people, and it's frustrating, but I understand where they're coming from too. It's like, well, why bother, man? Nobody's gonna believe this.
Yep.
You know, like I said, just getting washed away in the flood of misinformation. Somebody finally does catch something that is legit, and like I said, it just gets washed away. So
So
it's discouraging. I understand that, but still, throw a dart out there. Throw one dart, you might hit a bullseye. Throw 1,000, you're bound to hit one. So
yeah. Well, and they share them within their little groups, and if you find the right people, you can get in there and see some of that stuff. But they just ask that you keep it between them, and I
that's
get that.
understandable. Yeah, I
Well,
get
here's
that.
my question to all these people that are looking for Bigfoot, and I think it's cool. But what happens when you find one? Because I'm not going to be like, okay, I'm going to take you home now. Bigfoot doesn't want to be caught. So unless you're 100 yards away or more, that's not somewhere I would really want to be, right?
No, you're probably gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, you could catch a bad spirit, you could get possessed, you could get an attachment. Things could happen. Absolutely. But
Well, and one of my good friends for over 30 years, we were actually teammates for a while. Russ Bailey. He's a big ufologist, and he's a big cryptid and Bigfoot enthusiast. And you can go way down that rabbit hole if you want to. But one of the things that he always talked about, which I thought was interesting, was the reason why nobody has ever found, well, not even caught Bigfoot, but why nobody's even found any remains of Bigfoot. No femurs, no skulls, no nothing. And apparently, one of the more popular theories is that Bigfoot is kind of an interdimensional being that travels between portals. Like he'll walk in one portal and you'll see him walking through a field, and then walk out of another portal and he's gone. Like I said, you can go way down that rabbit hole if you want to. I'm not going to try to say that I'm an expert on that part, but I have heard that theory before. So yeah, it's fascinating. Well, all these years, we have a bunch of grainy footage, and apparently somebody finds a holy grail, but then they're too worried about public ridicule to actually put it out there for people.
Well, I'm hoping that we get to a point with technology where we're going to be able to tell if something's AI, like just within the program itself, being able to run it into a program just to see if it's AI. I kind of hope that we get to that point in the future. Not necessarily for this, but I imagine at some point, some field is going to have to figure out some way of debunking whether or not something's AI. So I hope we get to that point in the future.
There's going to have to be some regulation or self-regulation. Otherwise, it's just going to spiral real quick.
There's got to be legislation that if it's produced in AI, it's got to be labeled AI. I mean,
so
it just has to happen.
Like a watermark or something, yeah.
Yep.
By day, I'm an attorney, so it hasn't hit me yet, but eventually we're going to start having cases and stuff where people are submitting evidence that's been doctored, and how do we tell? So it's an issue for every community, regardless of what you're using it for.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about the locations that you guys are going to be having investigations and stuff at this weekend.
So the two big locations that we're having is the Elk River Hotel and the Haunted Hayman. Now, I'm a little bit more familiar with the Elk River Hotel than I am with the Haunted Hayman. The Elk River Hotel is the one that I was talking about that we had went to about a month ago, I believe, and we were kind of the first group to investigate it. Some of the workers and stuff that work there have claimed that it's haunted, and in that regard, showed us some photographs. Don't know if they're doctored or what they are, but they provided it with us. There was a couple of times that we got some intelligent responses on the REM pods and stuff. However, we were there for a limited amount of time. Now, I can tell you the Haunted Hayman is more well known within the community. I'm not super familiar with it. I'm not sure if Tara or Carl are. If they are, they might want to talk about that one a little bit more in detail. But I know that like even on the Braxton County visitor center website, they even have a post about it having some apparitions and some other things going on with that. Now, I am going to be doing about in the halfway mark. I'm going to be doing kind of paranormal history slash dark history tour on the courthouse lawn, talking about some of the darker things that have happened in Sutton, talking about things like how everything burned down during the Civil War, and some of those other aspects. So I'm going to give people an opportunity to do some paranormal investigations out on the lawn and around the lawn of the old stone jailhouse as well. So those are the three big things that we have for Haunt Fest.
Yeah, Heyman House is going to be the big one. That's one that I have not checked off the bucket list yet. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But it's as advertised. From everything all my peers have told me that have been there multiple times, they said it's as advertised. So I can't wait to actually set foot in the place myself and take groups through there. And like I said, this weekend should be a great time anyway, but it'll be a good time, for me to check that place out for the first time and get to experience it for the first time with a lot of other people who are experiencing it for the first time.
And she's opened the house up to us on Friday as well, so we're going to be able to do it Friday and Saturday now.
Right.
Awesome. Yeah, we follow the Haunted Haven, and it's absolutely beautiful from the pictures. I can't wait to go. I don't think I know anybody that's been there, or if I do, they haven't. We haven't talked about it, but it's definitely something that I think is going to be really cool to check out.
And the owner of the home is who we've partnered with to make the donations based on vendor sales and ticket sales as a part of giving money to the owner so that they can continue with the restoration and stuff that they're doing there. So that's our big partner in regards to the weekend, because every time we try to do an event, we try to pick a venue that we can donate money to. The Elk River Hotel is kind of benefiting off of the fact that we're paying to be there. As well as advertising. There's a couple of rooms left. I think that they're like the cottages that are left. I don't know if they've rented those out yet, but we have the whole main house and the carriage house rented out for Haunt Fest. So we tried to make sure that not just one location was getting the benefit of us being there.
Right, and that's kind of what we do with the whole, paranormal tourism thing, I guess. We're trying to put money back into the economy of these local businesses and local communities. That way, not everybody is a Trans-Allegheny, not everybody's a Moundsville State Prison. There's a lot of smaller locations who could still, historic locations who could use a couple dollars for restorations and historical tours and stuff like that. So by doing what we do, we're trying to give back to the communities, the smaller communities and the smaller historical districts. So this is going to be great for us this week, and great for Sutton, great for everybody who lives there.
So does Sutton have any history as the town itself, just having a bunch of haunted places, or is it just happens to be that there's a couple places there that are haunted?
Oh, I think the big
areas
draw
that are just known to be haunted, and other places just, well, there's a few places here that are.
I think one of the big draws, and I can't answer to that, but I think one of the big draws is the fact that the Flatwoods River Monster is kind of known to be there. So in that regard, they actually have like the museum in Sutton, as well as they have the West Virginia Bigfoot Museum in Sutton. So it's kind of known more for its cryptid side, I believe, more so. However, doing some research and things and looking into the historic district, there are a lot of darker things that have happened in the area. Like I said, I think when the Civil War was going down, everything in the town of Sutton was burned down except for 6 houses. So the whole downtown district and everything was burned down. And there's some things that I'm going to talk about at that nighttime tour thing that I'm going to do. There's also a really interesting case where a house had burnt down, and this was after the Civil War, but a house had burnt down, and a mother and I believe 6 of her children died in the fire. and her sister that was about 2 hours away had like a premonition that night that it was going to happen. So that's something cool that I think too. But as far as other than the haunted Heyman, now that's a different story. But as far as that, there's not a lot of documentation, I don't believe, in regards to downtown Sutton other than the haunted Heyman. So
I mean, the whole town being burnt to the ground is tragic enough, and that certainly could lead to a lot of hauntings. I mean, that's pretty crazy for sure. So Deborah wants to know if you guys have like raffles to set up, and she said we could donate a basket to be put in with the raffle to help raise money. We would love to do that.
that's something that we could work on. I know that we've talked about doing it at future events. I don't think we've talked about doing it at this particular event, but it's something that we can talk about because we have an event towards the end of June where we've talked about doing a raffle type of situation. So it's something that we could work on doing between now and Saturday.
So even if you don't want to do a group thing, we can do it at our table, and whatever we bring in, we'll just donate back to you guys to do whatever. We'll get a basket together of whatever we got a bunch of stuff we're bringing to sell and whatever. We'll make up a basket, a T-shirt, a hat, whatever, some paranormal equipment, whatever. Throw it in there, and we'll sell our own tickets. And at the end of the day, whatever we make goes right back to you guys to put it toward whatever fund you want. You guys can do what you want with it.
We would definitely appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Deborah's got to make a basket in the next couple of days. So, but yeah, I mean, we would love to do that and donate whatever we make, and whether it's $50, $100, $200, whatever, we'll donate it all back, and it's a good cause, and we like to do things like that. Raffle tickets probably $3 for $5 or whatever it is, just so we can raise some money. That'll be cool. So she says she'll get on that first thing tomorrow morning. Have at it. She had another question. Is Sutton part of Appalachia?
Yes, actually, the entire state of West Virginia is a part of Appalachia. So anywhere you're at in the state of West Virginia, you're a part of it. So I think we're the only state that's completely a part of it. Actually, that's what I was going to say. I think you're the only state that is fully Appalachian. My grandmother.
The Appalachian Mountains actually go all the way down to Georgia, but I think we're the only state that's like fully enveloped in them.
Yeah. My grandmother on my dad's side was from Beckley, West Virginia, so I've got a little West Virginia in me.
That's not too far from where I'm at right now. I actually was in Beckley earlier today. So
I live just on the outskirt of Beckley.
See, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's about 40 minutes north from me, give or take. I'm at the very bottom of West Virginia. So
we were just in. Oh, I forget the name of the town. Wherever Hillbilly Hot Dogs is.
Oh yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I think it's in
Lesage.
Okay. Yeah, Lesage.
Okay.
Yep. So we went and did an investigation in Southern Ohio, and I can't remember the name of that city either. But we were like 2 hours from Hillbilly Hot Dog, and I already told you, hot dogs are a big part of my life. I love hot dogs. So we drove there, and I ate the homewrecker, and then we stayed overnight, and then drove home the next day. But we loved the drive to West Virginia. It was absolutely beautiful.
Well, you got to go back now because there's a bigger one than the homewrecker.
Oh yeah, I'm not doing anything more than that. I mean, this was just like 3 weeks ago. I'm not going back for that big one. It's 30 inches long. There's no way. I think it's 30 inches long and three or 5 pounds of toppings on it. And I can't do that. I mean, the one I did was 15 inches and 2 pounds of toppings, and that was plenty. Nobody needs to eat that much food.
No.
not one sitting anyway.
They also have giant hamburgers, big enough to feed 35 people.
No.
They're a really cool place.
So Mary wants to know about skinwalkers. Is that true? You guys keep up with skinwalkers? Is that something you guys watch as well?
There's rumored skinwalker. The only ones I'm aware of that's been rumored is around Lake Shawnee, southern West Virginia, around the Princeton Rock area. There's a lot of I've Lake Shawnee's kind of a notorious location anyway for our area, and I've been there overnight 3 times now, and you get coyotes and you get stuff like that. And there is a heavy Native American presence there. I would have nothing. I've seen or heard nothing to convince me that there's anything there, but that'd be really the only location that I've ever been to that would be remotely connected to skinwalkers. Lake Shawnee is a great location to go though, regardless, but that's about the furthest of my contact or knowledge I've had with them.
And Deborah just said it seems like it's more Native American folklore type thing, and you can kind of put that in with Bigfoot or the Mothman or any of these other cryptids that are running around out there that maybe they're folklore, but again, that's why we do this, to find out is it a thing or is it not a thing, right? I mean,
It depends on if you believe or if you were raised to believe or not.
I haven't had a lot of people talk to me about skinwalker. I mean, I've heard people talk about them, but I've heard people talk a lot about something that mimics people around here. Now, I haven't ever experienced that, but I've had some people and read some things about that, especially mimicking animals or mimicking something that sounds like an animal, which I guess could be attributed to a skinwalker maybe, but I don't have any experience with them.
Yeah, there's things they call the Appalachian hay. They always say whatever calls to you from the woods, just don't answer. And like I said, I go into it a lot to debunk things, but some things don't worry, I won't answer.
Yeah, you got to be smart about what you're doing. I mean, that's you can't just go like, oh, I heard a noise and I'm going to go out there in the woods and I'm going to debunk it. You might not come back.
Yeah, no, that's why.
Yeah, no, you definitely have to be smart about it. All right, so Deborah's got another question.
I have a lot of, there's a couple in that
What
one.
locations have you been to lately, and where is your home base located, and how far out of your home base do you travel for investigations?
Well, I think we're all kind of located in different areas. I think I think all of us are in southern West Virginia for the most part. We try to keep it in the Appalachian region. I think the farthest that the groups traveled to at this point was Bel Air, Ohio, and that was back in April. I'm based out of Athens, West Virginia, which is right near Princeton, West Virginia. We try to do, or at least the ones that I've helped plan for the upcoming events, we try to do them a lot more locally, within a couple of hours at the max is typically, I think, what we've tried to do so far.
We travel everywhere. We'll go 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 hours in the car, and wow, it's sometimes it's grueling, but if you want to clear your bucket list, man, we gotta run.
Well, Pam has been talking to me because she wants me to go with her and a couple other people, like not as part of the group or like Whole Country Paranormal, but she's wanting to go all the way down to Louisiana. I think in February she wants to go to Myrtle's Plantation and a couple other places down through there. I've been on a day tour of the Myrtle's Plantation, but I've never done like the paranormal tour, stayed the night there. So I've been to other places like by myself, but I think the group where we're trying to do it more in the Appalachian region, we just haven't really expanded that far out.
couple hours, for whatever the group says is comfortable with them. It's about, how far we'll go, just this area. But yeah, individually, like I travel a lot just because, and if I'm in an area that has something, noteworthy or something, infamous for something, then I will go, check it out. But that's just solo.
Yeah. So Deborah says if you guys ever want to get up to Pennsylvania, we have some great locations up here, and we'll go with you. You can come with us anywhere you want to go. We do. We run all over the place. Last year, I think I said we did like 44 investigations last year, and we're going to be somewhere around 33 this year. But we've added in a bunch of paracons and podcasts and everything else. So we're like 24/7 into the paranormal right now. But we always welcome people to come and collab with us. Actually, 2026, we've called it the year of the collab. Every one of our investigations this year, excuse me, is a collaboration with somebody. We don't have one investigation; it's just our group. We want to get out there. We want to meet people. We want to see how they investigate. We want them to see how we investigate, and we just want to meet cool people. And we've met nothing but a bunch of wonderful people. But and she says, we are planning a trip to the beach. And I'll be darned if we didn't have 3 investigations lined up while we're at the beach. Our life is
Good problem to have.
totally, yeah, we're totally invested in this. So you guys want to come to Ohio or meet us or come to Pennsylvania or meet us in Ohio or anywhere. We love to investigate, and we love to bring other people along and team up together. I mean, that's the whole thing behind my podcast is to introduce people to people that they don't know. I get nothing out of my podcast except for meeting people. I don't make money off of it. I don't want to make money off of it. And when we investigate, we do that again to get people that maybe haven't been to a place, or some of this stuff is expensive. You get 2 or 3 teams, you help knock out the cost, you get to meet new people, and that's what we're about. Everybody says, oh, pair unity this, pair unity that. We're more of a pair of respect, and if you can start with respect, everything else will fall into place, right? But that's our whole mantra is we want to take somebody that nobody knows, and we want everybody to learn about them. And that's how we built our channels. Again, we don't make any. I think we made $1.50 last month off all of our social medias. What do you do? But the interactions and getting to meet people is the coolest thing. And you always find out about new places. So somebody said Price Mansion. I wrote that down because that's a place now I got to go check out that I want to know about, and I probably want to check out, right? This is how you learn about things. So that's why we do all this. Going to Paracons is strictly about meeting people, making connections, learning, and teaching. So we have a good time with it. Let's see if I get it. Yeah. We've got a lot of places near us. The Doss House is up near us. It's small, so you'd want to keep it to like 5 or 6 people max. The Grand Midway is near us. It's a little bit bigger. You can take 6 or 8 people, maybe 10 people there. But there are plenty of places around here. Sugar Creek, Ohio, all of Ohio, Southern Ohio, from Columbus down is just packed with paranormal. I mean, even Northern Ohio too. All of Ohio has a lot of paranormal in it. We spend a lot of time in Ohio, but now this year we've been going more to West Virginia and doing things, and we're going to find more places and start hitting those as well. So you guys ever want to get out, you let us know.
Oh yeah.
I hope that's what we accomplish too, is by getting the word out about places down here that people aren't familiar with, because there's some places down here that I wasn't even familiar about until recently. One of them is the Campbell Flanagan Morrell House in Hinton. Pam is actually one of the board members there, and that place is a hot spot for activity sometimes. Like, and it's stuff that when you go one on one or with another person, you can kind of read out whether or not something's happening and try to determine that. It's a smaller location too. I wouldn't imagine you could probably fit more than 5 or 6 people in it, but that's something that if it wasn't for this group, I would have never even known about either. So I hope that we're able to get the word out in places like that as well.
Yeah, that's what makes all this so cool. Like you said, you got the paranormal the West Virginia paranormal girl. I can't wait to meet her. She's been to a lot of cool places. I just want to pick her brain. Tell me everywhere you've been. What are your favorites? Things like that.
Yeah, I mean,
one of my favorite places to go to.
That's one thing I was saying to somebody just the other day too about like just being in West Virginia. It just seems like we're very blessed as investigators to be in the state, because it seems like you can literally just drive 100 miles in any direction and you're going to hit a hot spot somewhere, whether it's a big hot spot or a smaller one like Campbell Flanagan Memorial or Heyman House or Trans Allegheny or the Apollo Theater out in Martinsburg.
Yes.
Any direction you go to. There's one Beckley, Black Knight. I want to say Black Knight.
Yeah, Black
I mean,
Knight.
100 miles in any direction in West Virginia, you're going to hit a hot spot. So we are blessed to live in this area. Yeah, we just always encourage people coming out, man. There's plenty of places, you might heard some of them, you might not have, but they're all worth the visit.
Yeah, that's a big deal. All right, what you got here for me? Yes, I'm going there next. My producer is over here giving me tips. She said, I just want to keep the history of the historic locations alive, and I want to get the stories, and I want to get the stories correct. And not only that, I'm going to add a little bit to that. We want to keep the historic locations viable, right? I mean, by us going and investigating them, they collect money, which then they in turn can afford to do renovations, keep their properties alive, keep them going, and that is really a big part of this, is keeping these, because if we don't go, we're going to lose a lot of these places. I mean, we almost lost Penhurst, right? They were going to sell Penhurst off to a data center and rip it down.
Right.
So now they're not going to, at least for now. But without what we're doing, we're gonna start losing a lot of these historic places, and we've lost way too much history now. We just can't let it continue.
And that's what I love about West Virginia. I don't know about up in Pennsylvania, but we repurpose our buildings so much that they're just not gone forever. Like the building that I'm in right now used to be a bank way back in the day. I think this building was built in 1910. If you go out and open this door, there's a lobby area, but at one point in time, this whole building would have been open from the center, from the floor to the bottom. So I do like the fact that we're lucky to have a lot of older buildings that haven't been torn down. They've just been repurposed for other reasons. So,
yeah. I think that we are a lot of, in Pennsylvania at least, they're all about ripping things down and building something brand new. And I can see some of that. But I don't know, man. Keeping these old buildings alive is a big deal to me. We drive around some of these towns, and you go see these great, big, huge, old historic homes, and some of them look fantastic, and some of them just look like hell. And I'm like, man, why hasn't somebody jumped on that and brightened this house up and given it new life? Because what an incredible house that is. And it seems more often than not, people just walk away and let them die. And man, we have some really cool architecture out there that is just going to disintegrate into the ground. It's terrible.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to fix it. A lot of people just don't have funding to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people are just fighting the family over selling the house because mom or dad owned it and they've passed away, and they would just rather let it set in the ground than give their sister 50% of the proceeds to selling the
It's
house.
terrible.
Things like that. I really don't know how to fix it. And I love going into a house that is as close to historically accurate as possible. And that's one of the things that I liked about that place in Hinton is it feel like it's different, but it feels like a house that's from the 1800s whenever you go in there. It's not something that somebody's went through and ripped out the floors and put vinyl flooring down in it and things like that. That's what I love about an old house, is being able to go into it and kind of experience it the way that somebody that lived there or went into it back in the day would have experienced it.
Yep, for sure. Well, let's see. We're really excited to come this weekend. We were supposed to come up on Friday. My son is graduating from high school on Friday, so I cannot and will not miss that. So we're going to come up early Saturday and get set up. And then we were invited to stay at the lodge, and I think that's really cool. So we can't wait for that.
We are excited. Pam was working very hard to figure out a way to make sure that you all had the ability to stay the night, because we know how far you all are driving down. So
that was a big deal to us. I mean, like we absolutely would make the drive back home. We wouldn't let that deter us. We have a tent. We would pitch a tent anywhere. We are always out and about, and there's times that we might pick a hotel, but other times we'll throw up a tent. We'll sleep in the scariest place that you've ever thought of. We don't care about sleeping there either. We always make it work, though. We always make it work. But like, she went out of her way to make sure that we could stay there, and that was like, wow, this is really cool. And I can't say enough about it. We are so grateful to be invited, and just can't wait. And the drive is going to be beautiful. I mean, you hit some of these back roads, man. Like I told when we were coming back from Lesage, it was just, we would just get off the highway and just drive around just to see what we could see, because there's so many beautiful places out there.
I would recommend doing that on the way going back, because I've driven from the Flatwoods area, which is near Sutton, all the way up to Morgantown on the back roads, and it's beautiful going up that way. So I would imagine all the way up through Morgantown up into Pittsburgh that it would be a beautiful drive.
Yeah. We do like the highway for convenience, but we love getting off the highway and just driving through the back roads for a little while. We're never in a big rush, so it'll be fun. And Deborah says we'll get to see Cindy from the Ross house. We talked about Cindy. Cindy is awesome. Absolutely. We love Cindy.
Yeah,
she is a riot.
I'm really excited to see her again, and talk to her about everything. I mean, we did to an extent, but she also left pretty early on in the night, which of course, like, I wouldn't stay super late either if I did it every week. Just to be able to talk to her about some of the things that we experienced in the house after she left.
Yeah, Cindy is awesome, and she is an absolute riot. I've had her on my podcast, and we laughed the entire podcast because she's a cut up, very smart woman, but she has the best sense of humor. She'll just keep you rolling. Yeah. So we should have a very good weekend. Carl said, "God bless you, Carl." Deborah said, "God bless you, Carl."
Thank you. Allergies are murdering me right now, man. Hopefully they let up by the weekend.
Yeah, she does it. She has allergies too. It's terrible. I guess I'm one of the lucky ones. Well, is there anything that we didn't talk about that you guys want to talk about? I mean, it's fair game. I'm not in a rush. we just hit the hour mark. I don't care if we're on here 2 hours, but I don't want to keep you longer than you want to be. But if there's anything that we haven't touched that you'd like to discuss or questions that you want to ask me,
One of the big things that I want to shout out about is anybody that's listening that's coming, please go and explore all the local businesses and stuff while you're down there. That's a part of it. I went and kind of spoke to some of the local businesses a couple of weeks ago to make sure they were okay with us kind of publishing them on the website and stuff. And all of them seemed very excited for us to come to give them an opportunity to have some business come in. So I do recommend anybody that's coming in to go support the local businesses.
Deborah wants to know where everyone's supposed to check in at.
So it depends on who you are. If you guys are coming early, I would recommend finding us over at the Elk River Hotel. If you're a vendor, check-in is from 12 to, or well, setup is from 12 to 2 on the courthouse lawn in Braxton or in Sutton. It's on the main street in Sutton. As long as you type in Braxton County Courthouse, you're going to be able to figure out exactly where you need to go. You don't have to be there right at 12 o'clock, but we just ask that setup be done by 2 for anything that's going on. It's pretty much a free for all. If you get there first and want to set up yours in a particular area, you're more than welcome to. We're going to reserve a couple of spots, I think, because we do have some people that have some accessibility needs. So there will be a couple of spots that are already be marked off. If you're doing the check, or if you're doing the creepy crawl, I believe that we're all meeting at 6 o'clock on the courthouse lawn to check in, and then you kind of get to decide if you want to go over to the Elk River first or if you want to go over to the Haunted Haven first, and you can kind of flip back and forth however you want to. I actually don't think we've discussed how we want to do check-in on Friday night since they've opened up the Haunted Haven to us. I would just say probably if you want to go to either location during the check-in time, we can figure out a way to make sure that you're checked off. Because I don't think we have the lawn reserved on Friday night, so I don't think we can do a check-in at the lawn. So that's something that we actually think we need to talk about. But those are, I believe, that covers everything for check-in, I do believe.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the way we've usually done it is like, once you get checked in, it's kind of like a free roam. Like there'll be a lot of us in stationary places, whether it's at Hammond or at the Elk, and you can kind of come and go as you please. So like we will be stationary, but if you want to hang out here for 2 hours, if you want to hang out in this other place for a half hour, you can come and go to either location as you please.
Parking is pretty much parallel parking everywhere. It's an old town, so it's old street parking. Over at the Haunted Haven, you're gonna want to park on the opposite side of the road, and you're gonna kind of want to parallel park there. But it's wide enough of a gap for people to park. I think on the website, I actually have all the addresses listed on the website for where the locations are at. And I think that I think that if you actually click on it, that I have it fixed to where it'll pull up, whether you have Apple Maps or Google Maps or whatever maps you have.
Nice.
It'll actually pull you up because the locations are close to one another, but I wouldn't suggest walking. It would be quicker to drive. So you might want to kind of plan out which one you want to go to first.
I don't know, the price of gas, it might be worth the walk.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I think we're gonna probably leave here around 8 a.m., which would put us there like 10:30, 11, depending on how much messing around we do on the road. But we're not going to be there like early, but we're definitely going to be there before noon.
Well, as soon as you get there, if you just want to mess with one of us, you can come and find us. I imagine that. I don't know what time. I imagine that we'll probably get over there around 11 or 11:30 to the lawn to make sure that once people start showing up to set up for the vendor fair, that there'll be somebody there. So I'm sure somebody will be over there, and the hot dog guy is going to be there early.
Yes,
because I think he just kind of wants to be there. So when people are setting up, if they get hungry, you can buy all the hot dogs from him. I wish I had. Let me see if I can find it while we're here. See if I can actually find it. He created a menu and he sent it to me. Let me see.
I was looking at his regular menu. I'm like, oh yeah. So
All of it looks good right now. I'm on Facebook right now, pulling it up, and Cindy's actually live from the Ross house right now. It looks like.
Yes, she is. I just saw that a few minutes ago.
Let's see if I can get this sucker pulled up.
So I work for Pittsburgh Brewing Company. We make Iron City beer.
Okay.
And one of the things I'm on one of the brewers, and one of the things we have in our little control room is we have a hot dog roller, and we have Wiener Wednesdays. Every Wednesday we're rolling hot dogs. We bring all different kinds of fixings. We make all these different gourmet hot dogs at work, and it's gluttony at its finest.
Sounds delicious.
It's insane. And then we had hot dogs for dinner tonight. It's just, it's my thing. I like them.
So
I like
it looks
hot
like
dogs.
I'm trying to get it to download, but it won't download for some reason. But he has a couple of different hot dog options that he's going to have. He's got the Flatwoods Visitor. He's got the Phantom of the Flatwoods, Braxy's Revenge, the Haunted Haymond, the Little Ghoul Dog, the Green Mist. He's also got some side options too as well. For some reason, it won't let me download it right now though. But he's made a particular menu for it. He's also, I think he said that he's using Nathan's hot dogs for all of them. So,
Oh yeah. I'm excited. I'm going to live on hot dog Saturday.
he's also
You could have worse problems.
and I think
Right?
I think he's super popular in the area too because he's told me that he set up in the courthouse lawn multiple times down there. So I guess he's been there for other events.
Interesting. Well, Tara, do you have any words of wisdom before we go? Anything you wanted to add?
Just, when you can go, enjoy the area, have fun, explore, work with each other. I'm going to live vicariously through you all and wish I was there. Hopefully next time. Maybe hope to collaborate with you all in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
You let us know.
everybody.
We're up for just about anything.
I'm going to be doing this year. I've got a couple cryptid festivals that I'll be traveling to do because that's my big thing is cryptozoology. So
We're going to one in Johnstown, PA. We went last year. It's a Western Pennsylvania Cryptid Expo. We went last year. We're going this year, and we actually have been asked to lead the ghost hunt for the public in the evening there, which was again no idea why they picked us. I mean, we're friends, but I thought it was cool that they picked us to do that. But we
sounds
enjoy
like
the
an honor.
festival. It really is. I mean, wow. And we can't wait for that one. That one's in September. I think it's September 28th in Johnstown, PA. So that was a good one last year as well. So I expect it to be just as good this year.
I was looking at there's a I haven't been, but I saw an ad for it on Facebook. But it was the Squonk, Cryptid Festival, and I thought that looked like fun. I'm gonna have to double check when that is. And then we're doing it's a weekend long. I want to say in July is the North Carolina Cryptid Festival. I'll be doing that one. I usually hit up and do the Bigfoot, festival. They have moved it this year from Sutton in the past years to Summersville, so a little bit closer to me, which I'm kind of thankful for. But we'll see how it's set up this year.
Absolutely. That sounds great. Carl, how about you? Any last things that you want to share?
No, really, just looking forward to seeing everybody this weekend. Like I said, I have not been able to get out on an investigation so far this calendar year. I adopted a puppy back in January, so he's been kind of keeping me home. And of course, I also have an 8-year-old Siberian Husky I've had to take care of. So the dogs have been keeping me busy. This will be the first time I've been able to get out and investigate all year. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Definitely looking forward to the Flatwoods Museum is amazing. I've checked it out before. Looking forward to the Haunted Hammond, checking it out for the first time. And, new people, new experiences, come out and see us. It's for a good cause, as always, with everything we do. Hope to see everybody out there soon.
Awesome. And James, anything
Honestly,
else from you?
I'm just looking forward to meeting everybody and getting to see everybody. I think we have a pretty good lineup of people that are coming, so I'm excited to get to kind of meet and talk with everybody about everything.
Yeah, we're very excited for it. Can't wait for the weekend. It can't get here fast enough. Like I said, my son graduates high school on Friday, and then I'll be there Saturday. So back-to-back days of total craziness, and I'm all for it. Let's have a
And plus,
graduation.
I will be officially on vacation, so I will be getting paid to ghost hunt. So
Nice.
it doesn't get much better than that.
Oh, see, you're hitting the big time. You're getting paid to ghost hunt.
PTO, yes, sir. That's the only way I can get a weekend off to do this. Yeah, so might as well get paid for it.
Oh, well, that's awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much. It was truly a pleasure. I appreciate you guys spending some time. And we creeped over the hour and 15-minute mark, which is never a bad thing. I tell everybody plan for an hour, but sometimes there's no way to end. So we just keep going and going and going. But I appreciate you guys taking your time. Sorry, Pam couldn't make it. But if she's wrestling up a new vehicle, then you can't beat that, right?
Absolutely.
Long,
I think she got a
as she
really
makes
nice
it this
car.
weekend.
Yeah, she'll be there this weekend if I have to drag her there myself.
All right, guys. Well, I thank you so much again for joining us, and look forward to meeting you guys. Tara, maybe next time, right? We'll get to meet you as well. And
Hopefully.
I guess we'll see you guys. Yeah. Look, we're always around. You give us a yell, we'll figure something out. We're pretty well packed for the rest of this year, but 2027 is right around the corner. We're halfway through this year already.
We sure
Crazy.
are
Yeah.
somehow. I don't know how.
Already.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys take care, and we'll see you. Well, we'll see you guys on Saturday. Tara, we'll see you the first time we see you.
Hopefully y'all stay safe and have fun.
And you stay safe out there while you're driving around.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right. Have a good night.
See you.
You're not alone. Midnight signal breaking through the noise. Shadows got a voice. You don't got a choice. We're diving past the edge of what you thought was normal, where the silence screams, welcome to the portal. Step inside, yeah, you cross that line. This is where the strange comes alive. The other side of a normal